Okay, well, we're under the car again, and there you can gotta get a shot of the exhaust system that came with this project. And I gotta say that system is probably 40 years old at least, because that's how long it's been since this vehicle was on the road. But it looked pretty good. Looked like it was salvageable, and obviously we cut the front part of the pipe off of it and had a new down pipe made because that pipe was rusted out. And we bought this flexible coupling to fit on there and got that clamped up. We've got a slight mismatch here, but we'll be able to straighten that out. This is a little flexible. If I had it to do again, I'd probably buy a longer one. You can get these different lengths, and I'd probably buy a little bit longer one for a little bit more flexibility, but we'll get that to line up. What we're going to have to do is expand this pipe a little bit to fit over that pipe, and then we'll clamp it. Now, normally there's a heat shield that goes here to protect the master cylinder from the heat from the exhaust, and I was going to make one of those. It didn't look that complicated. You can kind of see where, get in there where we can see, maybe. But to be honest, there's a little bit better lighting. To be honest, I've got some modern cloth wrap that's very good exhaust insulation, and I am just going to wrap that exhaust and then safety wire it in place. I mean, originally they had a metal shield here. Well, at least the cloth wrap will keep the heat inside the exhaust pipe to begin with, and we won't need the metal shield, but we're going to do that. And then put a couple of hangers on back there, and we should be able to get the exhaust system on this vehicle. A little tricky with the camera underneath here, but we'll make it work. The other thing we've had to do is pop this somewhere up here. It is somewhere up here. The brake light switch, we had it mounted. We had to pop it off there so we can hook the wires to it and get that done. And then we've got a wire harness that we made up, and we're going to run that back through the frame rail for the stop lights and the low fuel warning light. And the other side, through the frame rail, we'll run the tail light wire down the other side. Okay, so today's project was the exhaust system. Got our flexible coupling. Found this nice stainless band clamp here, so we used that. It's actually left over from the Pinto project. And we got our 40-year-old exhaust system run all the way back. Got a hanger on it. I think these cars had a round muffler on them originally, which would make a lot of sense. This takes up a lot of space under there, but you know, that's what we have, so that's what we're going to use. If we have to replace it, why we'll put something else on there, maybe a Smitty's. But there we go. Another project checked off the list. We did of course, had to fire it up, see what it sounded like. It was nice and quiet, and no little creatures came blowing out the back of the tailpipe for as long as it's been sitting, so that's incredible. And the other thing is, I looked at the dash while the engine was running, and the charging system works. Incredible. I didn't have to polarize the generator or anything. So, man, we're on a roll. Time for a toddy. Yeah, I think we're going to apply a little modern technology to this old MG. We've got some of this, I don't know, it's like a ceramic material, Kevlar, some super trick stuff. And basically what it is a wrap that you can put around the exhaust. And we're going to wrap that new old exhaust pipe we put on there with this material where it goes by the brake reservoir can. Normally there's a stainless heat shield there, but we don't have one, and we have some of this, so we're just going to wrap the pipe, and instead of shielding the can, we're going to keep the heat in the pipe and see how that works. Okay, so we've done a nice wrap of our insulating material around the pipe there. Put a bit of, you might call it mechanics wire, safety wire. We used stainless wire. We did a couple of wraps there and pulled it tight. And that should keep the heat away from these brake components here. Actually, better than the heat shield would. We'll see how that works. The other thing we did, and we have worked on this before. This is our tach drive. It goes on the end of the generator, and we had a couple of these. Here's the remains of the other one, and we did a video on this quite a while ago. But we made basically one good one out of two. In doing so, we had to open the thing up, and they come riveted together. You can see the rivets there, and that's okay till you try to figure out how to put them back together. I see that they sell rivets for the things, but to be honest, I believe that there needs to be some spacers in there, because if you squeeze that too tight, this gear or this gear, one of the two, I suppose it's the big one, is going to rub on this face over here, and that's no bueno. So what we did, and we did this a while ago, is we drilled and threaded that 1032, put these button heads in there, and there is a sweet spot to tighten them up. You can't just crank down on them because it crushes the cover and then it won't turn. So what we did is we just kept snugging it up a little bit, just barely, until it bound up, and then we back these off a little bit, and it turns free. The problem with that is, as I remember back when we did the other video, is that if you put oil in here, and you really don't want to put grease in there, because grease will just get flung away from the gears and not do its job. So you've got to put a little bit of liquid oil in there, and it all wanted to run out this seam. So it's like, okay, if we tighten it up tight enough so it doesn't leak, then it doesn't work. So what we did, we got to get ready to put this on the vehicle. So what we did finally was took it apart again, put some Hucky Puck on this lip here, and hopefully that'll seal that up. And then we got our snug fit just right, put some Hucky Puck on the screws, and we put these little locking nuts on the back. We call them jet nuts, or aircraft locking nuts, pretty tidy. I may or may not cut those screws off, but we put some Hucky Puck there. And then we had some white lithium sort of spray lubricant, and we took that grease fitting out and sprayed a bunch of that white lithium in there. And at least now, I haven't got enough hands here, but at least you can turn it, and I think it'll work. We'll find out. You can buy a new one. You can buy new everything. Our new ones $120, $130, something like that. Rather not have to spend that, but if this one doesn't work, then we'll have to do that. But we'll try this first.